Step aside, Balatro. There's a new big number game on the block. It's Nubby's Number Factory. See, it's even in the name. This here? This is Nubby. These are his numbers. You operate the factory with a classic method, blunt force trauma. You have an ever-increasing quota to meet, so you'd better get to work. You wouldn't want the sun to explode, would you? When you meet the quota, you restock, giving you more numbers, more money, and more nubbies. If you extend far beyond the quota, you get paid big. But hold your horses. You aren't going to get those big numbers without getting a little triggered. If you aren't dark woke like me, this game might not be for you. Using your money, you can buy items with beneficial effects, such as summoning needles to pop pegs or doubling pegs every few seconds. To really juice the items, you need to manipulate their triggers. My favorite item in the game is the dancing dino. Its trigger is bouncing, and it has a 60% chance to do absolutely nothing. It is one of the most powerful items in the game. More on him later. Let's talk about the cheese house. It's named the cheese house because nothing generates cheddar better, at least in the first few rounds. Upon Nubby's brutal death, Cheese House gives you 300 points, or 3,000 if you're past round 30. Upgraded, it gives you 750 and 7,500 respectively. At the sound of these slightly big numbers, you may begin salivating. This is a noob trap. 3,000 is fine at round 30, but at round 60, when you have quotas reaching into the millions, it is worthless and will drag your build. To make Cheese House not terrible, we need to get it even more triggered. We can do that with perks. Every few rounds, you unlock random perks that enhance your item synergies. For example, with the Void, for each empty inventory slot, the last item in the row is triggered twice after Nubby's death. That's a lot, 12 additional triggers. Pretty good. But that still only just breaks 100,000, still rather short of a million. Recall that Cheese House triggers upon Nubby's death. So what if we killed Nubby, but even harder? What if we had a way to continuously curb stomp his ass into oblivion? The answer to our problems? A pregnancy test. No, I'm serious. Upon first hitting a peg, we spawn an additional Nubby, or 2 if it's upgraded. That's triple the death, but we can do even more. Squids. They copy the attributes of the item to their left. Now, Nubby's children can get even more pregnant and spawn even more Nubbies. What the hell is this video? And with another squid, their children have children. Do you see the vision, the dream? It looks like this. This is an example of a suboptimal strategy. It only barely gets you through. To get the bigger numbers, we need to get a bit more clever. We need to dance. Although 60% of the time the dino does absolutely nothing, 20% of the time he doubles peg values, and the other 20% he halves peg values. You may look at this and think, this is worthless. After all, if he halves half the time and doubles during the other half, the peg values average won't change. Remember, my little liberal, it's about the triggers. The tardigrade's trigger is when pegs are halved, and when upgraded has a 60% chance to double pegs, effectively canceling out the dino's downside. This is a very strong combo. But what if we also had an item that triggered off of doubling? Something like a laser pointer. Activated whenever 2 pegs are doubled, a laser is fired through the board, gaining half the points of pegs without destroying them. With Cheese House, you get through the game. With the Dino Tardigrade combo, you get to see numbers you've never dreamt of. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's tons of items in this game I haven't experimented with. I don't actually think this game is better than Balatro, by the way. I clickbaited you, haha! But it's still pretty damn fun. It's only $5 on Steam. Go give it a whirl. Have a good night.